All right, guys, I hope you guys are well and you're doing great. There might be some background noises. I'm recording this in the kitchen on my computer. And yeah, I just didn't have any time to just do like a little voiceover in the car that I normally like to do. So this is just going to be like a random, like a random voiceover. And I'm just like airing out what I was thinking through the workout. And yeah, so I mean, I haven't trained since last week, guys. My last time I trained was chest last week. If you ask me why, I haven't got a really good answer. But I just didn't feel like I wanted to train. I just felt not weak. I just felt, a little bit like my body needed a rest. My mind needed a rest. I just didn't want to fancy going in and attacking, you know, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Call it unmotivated. Call it, you know, I don't know. The really, really like crazy week. I mean, I had a cold and that headache spell. Train legs, train chest. Then after that, I just didn't fancy anything. You know what I mean? But you know, today I was like, right, I promised that I had to do like the rows, this raw workout. You know what I mean? The death rows. I mean, I done this like a few years ago, like I was saying, and but I only started with the 50s in the gym that I work at. But this time, this started in the 70s, man. So it's another level. It's another level. You know, I want to say like the first 5 reps felt amazing with the 70s. I was like, yeah, we got this. By the time I got to number 12, 13, I was like, right, it is that moment that you knew that you messed up. Like, literally. I was just thinking that you can see me there thinking, why am I doing this? Why? Why did I say it? And in my head, I was like, right, you said what you said. You do what you said you gotta do. So I had to do it. You know what I mean? It had to be done. You know what I'm saying? So that's what only took me through. Because if I hadn't said it, I don't think, if I hadn't said it on here, like, guys, I'm going to do it next week, I'm going to attack it, I don't think after the first set, I would have maybe just done one set and then call it a day. Like, it's for the challenge. I probably would have done a bit of back or something. You know what I mean? It's guys, this is stupid. It's stupid, but I mean, it's good. Um, I think challenges like this is what probably makes me want to come and train because I know everybody you can come and do your back, do your chest, do your legs, the stuff for you to grow as a bodybuilder. But you gotta have some fun in there, a different type of fun where you just come in, let your ego, take over for a little bit, not all the time, a little bit. You know what I mean? Grab the weight and roll. I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong because I think last year I said like I want to be a bodybuilder. I gotta do like the bodybuilding stuff. But I think it's all good and well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want to do that, but some things get a little bit boring. So you need to satisfy that ego a little bit so that it can help you spur on. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense here, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, so a workout like this, like after I've done this, when I did this, it's actually felt good. I felt like, you know what, this is what it's all about. I'm strong. I've gained some weight, which I will talk about. I've gained some serious weight, not even good weight neither. But I've gained some weight, I've gained some power. Let me show it. Let me show it in a different way. Let me use it. Let me feel strong. You know what I mean? So let me go use it, you know, and do things that I like doing. It. They might not bring me any benefit. Hopefully, not get injured. You know what I mean? But let's go have some fun. And I think that's the whole point, right? Because if you're not enjoying it and you don't have to enjoy every minute of it, but you gotta enjoy some bits, ain't it? You know what I mean? But yeah, instead of like in terms of like putting on weight, right? I mean, after this, my back felt really pumped after rowing all of them weights, right? So I went in the back and I was like, right, let me look at that back. Oh man, there's a lot of fat, there's a lot of flap, lamb. I mean, I know I put on weight, and I knew I was gonna put a bit of fat on, but that's just not right, man. I mean, I am bothered, but I'm not really worried. Like, I've got like body dysmorphia type thing. because in my eyes, in my mind, I thought, oh yeah, my back will be pumped, everything. I'll be seeing some muscle, but now it's all covered in fat, man. I might be big wearing a hoodie and a t-shirt and that, but yeah, yeah, I put some fat on. So yeah, we need to start. We need to start doing some cardio here and there because I always think like when you putting on weight. I don't know. I've never been really really big, even like in terms of like overweight. I've never been. This is like new territory for me. 100 kilograms. Like this is like the first time ever. So, is there a crossover point? You know what I mean? Where like if you go past a certain weight and the food that you're eating and your habits, can you not come back? Is there like a point of no return type thing? So yeah, I need to put in some cardio in there. Maybe at least one or two. Just so that I can sort of shave that bit of fat off. I can feel like there's some muscle underneath. There is definitely some muscle underneath. Um, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that all of this way. It feels great. I mean, I feel my lifts feel strong when I bench press, when I squat. I feel great, man. I feel really good. I feel like this is what it is. But as soon as I start doing cardio and losing the weight or losing some of the fat, I think I will definitely get weaker-ish. I shouldn't do though, but I should. I don't know. I shouldn't get weaker if I lose it in the right way. If I do it the right way, anyway. But that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So anyway, here, like, I think here this is like midway. This might be 52s or 55s actually. And as you can see, my form and some of the reps was breaking down, especially the last 10 reps. I was just dragging it, man. I mean, I was thinking like a couple of years ago. You know what made me do these rows actually? A few years back was like I read an article on T Nation. They talked about croc rows, like CROCK, croc. Oh no, there's no K, just CROC rows. And then this is like you warm up obviously, but then this guy in this article was saying like you look for the heaviest dumbbell you can get, maybe for let's say I don't know 10 reps, or maybe between 10 and 20 reps if I can recall it better. And then what you do is you strap up and then you roll for a good 20, maybe 30, even 50 reps, right? But obviously your last probably 20, 10 reps are not like a full row and squeeze. So here you're just using all you got. You know what I mean? You're using all you got, your body, your legs, your arms, but just keep rowing that way. It's not safe. It's not a textbook style, you know, way of doing things. But I can understand where this guy was coming from, because you're going in to just rip those muscle fibers. You're just gonna go that's all you're interested in, right? But I mean, there's different ways to rip those muscle fibers. But one way is to overload it with a lot of heavy weight, lot of rows. Maybe you do your first 10 reps are perfect, and then your next 10 reps might be like, I don't know, 70%, 60%, and then your last 10 reps or your mid 10 reps, they're like, it feels like you're just barely hanging on, and your last few reps, you're barely not even doing anything. But all of that fatigue that you're doing, all of that damage you're doing, is ripping those muscle fibers, and which is what I do believe is what bodybuilding is in a sense. All we're doing here, although everything you're gonna be done in a nice, perfect technique, you gotta keep your back nice and in checked and stuff, so that you don't get injured, so you can carry on. But I think the principle around it is you gotta get in there and destroy as much muscle fiber as you can by at the same time pumping in more blood. You know what I mean, into that muscle. You pump a lot of blood into that muscle, carrying in the nutrients, and then at the same time you want to rip those muscle fibers. You know what I mean? If you could go in with a knife, that's what I sometimes think. If you could go in with a knife, you know what I mean? Listen, this is not the right way, but that's what I think. You would just like cut the muscle fibers in fine detail so that they can recover and grow again stronger. Then you cut them again. So like the croc rows is a good example of how one big set, you can achieve that by using a lighter weight and doing maybe, I don't know, 4 sets of 10. But another way, which is brutal, hard, and it's not something that's safe. Is to just strap up and go. So like by the time I get to the end of this rows, my back was screaming. My arms, my palm, my forearms, my biceps, my rear delt, everything was on fire. Whether I wanted to use it or not. Do you know what I mean? So I've done some damage somehow. I might have not targeted the one specific area, but I'm definitely know that by tomorrow I'll be aching. And I know those muscle fibers, some muscle fibers in there, I gotta gain some gains. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what bodybuilding is. You know what I mean? And then everybody, like if you look at like Arnie and all of those kind of stuff, they were going to absolute failure with some heavyweights, and their technique sometimes might be questionable. Do you know what I mean? But they done it anyway, and they were massive. Do you know what I mean? And they didn't have any like fancy equipment like we've got today. They just had barbells and dumbbells and squat racks. Yes, maybe some cable pulleys and stuff, but not like the machines we got today, where like they really. I mean, I'm not saying that the stuff we got today is no good, but all I'm saying is like they done it with barbells and dumbbells and their way of thinking, and just going to absolute failure and doing forced reps and doing like mega stretch using heavy weight, feeling the muscle. You know what I mean? And they won't tell us the whole truth how they did it really. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's why I like doing things like this at random. You know what I mean? You go in, you find out, you test it out, see what works for you. You know what I mean? It makes sense. On the leg extensions, that's what we're trying to do, innit? If you can hold the pain threshold, you can destroy those muscles. You can destroy them and destroy them and destroy them, and they'll recover stronger, man. But pain is not for everybody, and certainly ain't for me, because I don't know how much more pain I can tolerate, to be honest, with this workouts. I think I'm kind of contradicting myself here, really, actually. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is, man. And I didn't have my headphones in. Ran out of battery. The music that was on today, you know what I mean? Like dance stuff you listen to on the beach. You know what I mean? When you go to like a beach party, you know what I mean? But like I like some angry music. You know what I mean? If you get some angry music in there, just to attack the weight, to keep the mind occupied. You know what I mean? Felt like we were in a battlefield here. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm in the battlefield with the weights. And I'm imagining like the weights are the soldiers. You know what I mean? Those are the soldiers that I'm fighting with. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm going to kill all of these dumbbells and I'm going to bury them. You know what I mean? I want to be the person that's going to bury this dumbbell. That was my mindset when I got like to the 50s. But at the beginning, I was like, right, these dumbbells are going to bury me today. They're going to bury me now, right now. Because like I said, when it got lighter, it was better. You know what I mean? But at the start, I was like, you idiot. Sure what I mean? But it is what it is, guys. And I think this is the last few sets. You can see here, like I'm just like manhandling the weight there. You know what I mean? This bit actually felt good. And the other thing as well, I found out like there's a lot of cardio in there. Rowing involved. You don't think about it, but it gets you out of breath like mad. You know what I mean? I was like, and this is the reason why I need to do cardio, because the workouts are difficult without because I put on some weight, and I'm heavy. My breathing is like I'm heavy breathing, like as if like I can't explain it. It's like my chest, it's like my chest is gonna explode because I can't get any much air in. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've been ranting on, but yeah, this was a rose. So I'll catch you guys on the next one tomorrow. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and stay blessed.